Hey friends, Jessica Mason here with another episode of Sober Story. I have always viewed my personal journey, my whole life, as a journey of self-discovery. And, I'm sometimes in a period of growth. Sometimes I'm building, sometimes I'm destroying. But all biological creatures are either in a state of growth or decay. There's no stasis for anything that lives. So today's topic is going to be about putting our thumbs on the scale. It is an addict behavior, and frankly extends to many outside of our little addiction club. But it's when the scales are not tipping in your favor, when things start going wrong, and we tend to have this compulsion to put our thumb on the scale, to double down on what's wrong. And this can be, a self-sabotaging behavior. I mean, it is, but it could be intentionally that, even though subconsciously it is intentional. But it can also be a coping mechanism, a way to protect ourselves, that when things start spinning out, we subconsciously think that if we worst case scenario it, that we can't be surprised by more. When things keep popping up that we are caught off guard and surprised by, it can be pretty devastating. So to protect ourselves, we make everything that could go wrong. Something starts going wrong at work. Oh gosh, what if I lose my relationship too? Well, better make that happen. And I'm not the only one who do this. I see this in my clients and my friends. But this past downturn that I had, I kept getting caught off guard. It was damn near daily that something would happen beyond my control. Some things within, but mostly actually beyond my control. And I felt very victimized by that. And to protect myself, or even to validate these negative thoughts I was having, that, oh God, everything's awful, everything's out of control, whatever those negative thoughts are that we indulge in, that I really just started spinning out and knocking all my plates down off the sticks. Those plates spinning on sticks, old Lawrence Welk bit. But that's how I've always seen my life, that I just have all these activities that need all this constant attention. I move from one to the next. And it's an ADD behavior. But when the plates start falling and I start thinking, I'm not good at this, I should not be spinning plates. Or, man, how awful is it going to be when the rest of those plates fall? And I will just knock them down. And I was feeling really bad about that. What does that say about me? That I am struggling and then self-sabotage. And I use the addict adage of, hitting rock bottom and then starting to dig. And most addicts do that. A lot of people do that. But maybe I can reframe that. And it's not that I can't help but destroying things. Maybe I am destroying things, one, because to rebuild, things have to be broken down. So if things aren't working, I will dismantle and start again. And the dismantling is devastating. Destruction is. But what has always come out of it has been new growth. I am the aspen tree, the first tree to grow back after a forest fire. Or phoenix rising from the ashes. It all comes from ashes. I have a dear friend who has a platform called Beauty from the Ashes. She was in a horrible fire when she was young, and what she has done with her life is so incredibly inspiring. 55Ks before 50. She's the new Mrs. Colorado America. She's an incredible woman. And her platform is based on this literal beauty from the ashes. And I'm trying to look at that idea that, am I dismantling? Am I rebuilding? Or am I trying to protect myself from the pain of these plates falling on their own? Is there some kind of reinforcement in the negative things I think about myself being externally validated? Is that in some way making me feel more in control and more sane? And when you start looking at your destructive behaviors, not just as a source of shame and embarrassment, but you start looking at them as, what am I trying to do here? What am I trying to get out of this? Because the universe, God, divinity, higher power, whatever runs through all of us, I believe wants us to be happy. I believe that's the point of life, is to be happy. So I have to believe that at my very core, that's what I want for myself too. And when I am doing things that don't seem to be leading to happiness, and obviously there's, negative patterns in place and things we have to unlearn, and mental illness and pain and medications. There are a lot of things that just work to the contrary of that. But I have to believe ultimately that the things that we're doing, there's Lebowski. Chill all morning, then this little dog. I have to believe that the things that we're doing ultimately are because we are trying to get to a place of happiness. So through that lens, when I'm looking at, when I put my thumb on the scale, when I start making the laundry list, and I start giving myself a little bit of grace and saying, okay, what is it you need from this? Are you trying to lighten your load? Are you trying to give yourself permission to be who you are? Or are you trying to validate that negative self-talk for whatever comfort that brings? And once you start looking at what your body needs, basically we're biological machines, right? If you are suffering physically, you figure out, what am I putting in my body that it doesn't like? Why am I giving it the wrong fuel? What does my body need it's not getting? But the mind and the heart and the spirit are the same way. What is it that I need right now that I'm not giving myself? Or how am I giving it to myself in a way that is counterproductive? And getting to that root and trying to solve it. And for addicts, the go-to for that is usually addiction. And I did a video yesterday on how to know you're an alcoholic. It's if you're trying to fill that hole with booze or drugs or excessively working out or compulsively shopping or eating or whatever your behavior is that you're trying to stuff into that hole. I think that if we just take a second and figure out, okay, what is this hole really about? What is it that I really need? Because I'm filling it with this thing that's obviously not the right fuel. I'm putting sugar in my gas tank, which literally is like what we do to our bodies, right? So when you come at it from that perspective, it's a lot easier to problem solve without ego, right? Not, I shouldn't be doing this. Rather, okay, what do I need here? Answer that question, and it takes the ego out. It's just 1 + 1 = 2. Just find out what the ones are, right? That's what I got today.